The word Ram, understanding the word God. You have to remember, even in the vision for August, it has been elaborately dealt with. God, that is a cream. In quest of God means we immediately think about great void. Great void means, that which encompasses the whole thing, envelops the whole thing, in which so many changes, modifications, so many things take place. But it remains untouched, unaffected, not at all involved directly in it, but at the same time facilitates for everything. To form the right concept of God, it helps a lot. Then the next important point is to develop trust in Him. Not merely at the belief level. Trust means handing ourselves over with absolutely no reservations. Lock, stock and barrel. We have not reached still that stage. But now, at the moment we say IQG, in quest of God, how do I develop this, Oh God, how do you make me to develop this? My belief is at the superficial level. When it comes something to me, I don't hand over myself. Immediately, the me and mine comes. Everything is centered on that. I don't know that. I may say everything for others, but when it comes to me and mine. So this trust aspect, in quest of God, second important point is about the trust. Through various episodes, he has shown how this can be made a reality in one's life. And of course, it is all because of the aspect surrender. Surrender, go, yes. Throughout these, 37 chapters, we cannot find out one place where the surrender aspect is missing. Steadily, consistently, today I surrender, tomorrow I don't surrender. No. On this particular moment I am sattvic, I am in a position to accept. Next moment I get upset. No. Throughout. You all remember the last chapter, Siddhartha Swami called him and said, you go immediately. There is no argument from his side. He did not ask, how can I go now? Everything. To surrender from top to bottom. Universal vision. That is the aim. But from the individual level to the universal level. Expansion of the universal consciousness to the universal. Individual to the universal. Absence of otherness. Absence of sense of individuality. All these things we can bring it on. The 37 chapters keep on reminding us this. Meditate and chant His name. That is the fifth side. When Papa prompted us to bring out this beyond the text, under the title Beyond the Text. At that time he made, how many times he has used the word meditate. In every chapter he used to try it. So initially, it is emphasized, and every now and then he brings it out, meditation. And in one chapter it is clearly entitled as Meditation the Only Way. And here he also clarifies that meditation is not simply, normally when we say meditation, we sit on a Padmasana, close our eyes, vertebral column erect, and there's a pose. Here it is not like that. Here it is a conscious effort to dwell in God remembrance. That is what is called meditation. So when he heard for the first time, "Trust me, I am free," it released the entire load on him. And what he felt at that time, the sweetness, the fullness, that aspect of surrender, whatever we call it, the presence of God, the blissful state, that he wanted to retain. So the effort to retain that state has been named as meditation, and as an aid for that, Namachan. So both of them are interlinked. It is not separate. Meditated and chanted. Again, it starts from great void. When he said Ram, before the first chapter started, he had clearly mentioned, clearly made it clear as to what Ram stands for. He is the impersonal reality, mysterious power. He is love, he is truth, he is the goal of human perfection. He is the indwelling and all-pervading reality. Impersonal, highly impersonal. That's why we said it's a manual. That is enough. If we carry everything, and then comes the trust important, then surrender important, then universal vision, then meditation and chanting. And the next comes constant dialogue with it. In our case, constant dialogue may not be possible because our mind is not that much, focused. So as much time as possible, the inner dialogue. The first tangible, palpable gain is that the nearness is felt. He is not there, physically, but we are talking to him, When we are talking to him, that means he is there, I recognize his existence, presence. Constant in dialogue. Every time. In spite of all the adversities, in spite of all the other, discomfort, uncertainty, Papa continues to maintain this dialogue with him. Everything is his, nothing is ours. Absolutely, Right from the third chapter onwards, we find he doesn't carry anything, he doesn't plan for anything, he doesn't think about anything. Because in his mind there is absolutely zero attachment for anything. Unlike the Tri Vedantin, he does no aversion also. That's the peculiarity. Everything happens only by his will. Another amplification of surrender, acceptance. Still, he constantly maintains it. Many chapters you will find he is asserting to himself God's will, Ram's will. He does not, Ramdas does not know, but it is Ram's will. The biggest hurdle is me and mine. By this word, when we went to the second chapter, he made it very clear in that. Spirituality means absence of me and mine. Blunt. Keeping something of me and mine, we cannot have spirituality. That's 100% clarity. 100% clarity is this. If I keep anything as me and mine, and if I do all our spiritual activities, it doesn't go anywhere near to it. That is why he prayed, remove this I-ness. Then only he takes that leap. He did not even pray, let my Ramnam be steady, or let my Vairagya be steady, or let my this be steady. No. He was very clear. Me and mine. Remove the me and mine. Whose nearness we don't have to struggle to know. How close he is, me and mine. So, in quest of God keeps on hammering this, chapter after chapter after chapter. And then, periodical solitude. How many times, And we have got a fascination for such other places where human habitation will not be there. So he defined what he means by solitude. Suppose you are walking alone, somebody comes forward. Hello, how are you? Finished. Start talking. You have got a story to say. You have got a story to say. Mind goes on here and there. There are so many likes and dislikes of you that is welling up. Likes and dislikes of him welling up. Preferences, priorities, attractions, infatuations, so many. When you meet a person, so now solitude means you are not loving you are not mingling with any human being. At the same time, in solitude, you can be one with the Mother Nature. And anything in the animal kingdom. And this is necessary because there will be an undisturbed communion with God. When he went to Tiruvannamalai, just imagine, till such time he has not taken such a long, period. 21 days with nobody. And then there he had a glimpse of the universal vision. So many things come, This is how we try to make it as a manual. Whenever we get stuck, whenever there is some problem, we refer to the manual and again we get it repaired, That is called manual. Freedom from conditioning. Gently Papa wants that. He has not criticized any tradition. But gently he wants us. If you are a spiritual aspirant, there should be nothing between you and God. Anything that is in between you will be an hindrance. Because our attention is unknowingly shifted to that particular one. a particular type of dress, a particular type of an approach, a particular type of mantra, nothing. No tradition, absolutely no tradition. He was chanting Ram Ram, then he added Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, then he added Om. Then later on we find any mantra anybody asks, he used to initiate. He will ask which name you prefer. And that beautiful quotation, very often God does not need an intermediary. If you think God can talk through Ramdas, he can talk through you as well, because you cannot accuse him of partiality. Switch on your wire for direct communication. Why do you deny him in your heart? So there is nothing, any tradition, any protocol, anything that blocks us, in the way of tradition, customs, rituals. All those things are kept aside. Only me and him, that's all. Just like the child goes to the mother without any conditioning, whether it is dirty or in a clean condition. Similarly, freedom from all conditioning. Universality of religion. Holding on to a particular line, he was able to accommodate or appreciate other approaches. It is not that we should not mistake. Universality of religion means every now and then we change. No. Our correct understanding of our religion enables us to recognize and respect other faiths. That is universality of religion. Whether when he carries the New Testament, he did not see any difference between it, that book and Bhagavad Gita. When he went to Ajmer, he did not feel it as different, So he clearly defined what is universal. It is not that you are becoming, you are following everything that is said in every faith, Equally you are recognizing. But that why you are in a position to do it, you are holding on to a particular faith which is universalizing it. So there is no dogmatism, there is no regimentation, there is no localization. Beautiful, It is something unique, universality of religion. And Saguna and Nirguna aspects of the truth. Very important, very important. Right from our childhood, every one of us must have developed some sort of attachment towards our Ishtadevata. We have faith in it. Many people have many sankalpas to go over here every year to have the darshan of a deity. Like Shabarimala, like Vaishnav Devi, like Balaji, like Guru Ayyappan. It's all the truth. So the Saguna form is there. It is valid, 100% valid. But Saguna must be gateway to the Nirguna. Yogaji beautifully brings that word. Nirguna needs Saguna's warmth, but Saguna needs, Nirguna needs Saguna's warmth, but Saguna needs Nirguna's idea. Otherwise it gets localized. So here we find he is prompted to worship the form, he is prompted to worship the fountain. Both are valid. Sacrifice. That is the touchstone. The first article he says, we can treat it as that is our final exam. Sacrificing our petty interests, our everything for the sake of others. Another form of removal of me and mine. Sacrifice. Shit. Somebody comes immediately. He goes and he was asked to go and do the bhiksha and sit over. Many incidents. Not caring for him. From the 4th chapter onwards, that is there. Ram's test comes at all times unawares. From 4th chapter, you can say, 4th onwards, the test begins. Up to 4th, 3rd, you can say, so many preliminaries, the theoretical portions are also there. Actually, there is no theory at all in IQG, but we can, for the sake of categorizing it, we can say. So we push to the field, and whatever the experience he had in the field, we call it as test. He himself used to say in 2-3 times, it was a test. But when we look at it, we find from 4th down to 37 there are tests. And no clue at all how he is going to put the test. These are not for Papa, these are for us. We will close the book in our mind, IQG. IQG of Papa, we will close the mind. IQG of oneself, we will start. And the final one is the awareness of His grace. Because we should not even for fun's sake feel that because he did, he got this. Because of the grace poured on him right from the very start. Papa wants all of us to make it very, very clear to us. Somebody went and asked him, what all you have described in Inquest of God, how did it happen? Instantaneously the reply came, all because of Ram's grace. Ramdas did not deserve anything. Ramdas did not know anything about it. So the last one we have put as awareness of His grace. But actually it is the first one. So we keep on now praying. Why don't you are because of your grace only I am what I am. But I am not aware of it. Kindly enable me to do that. So these are all there could be many points. We have just picked up 15 points. So that every time when we go through IQG, let us forget for the moment that it is a travelogue written by authored by Papa. No. It is a manual for our own guide, When we go to the school, I don't know nowadays, guide is in there. For every subject there will be a guide. You call it a guide book? Yeah. Because every time whenever we are confronted with any problem, we used to refer to the guide. So the text has finished the job, the guide becomes now important. So similarly, we try to extract such are the factors that will guide us in our spiritual journey. And when we started doing this first filtering, the 16 points came up. Now when we all take it up as an individual sadhana, we are sure another 16 may be lying down there. Out of these 16, some are seemingly expressive, some are not expressive. Some we have to dig out and bring it out. So let this background be there, then we will go back to these. in the cave. Again the cave is a dialogue between us. We have been repeating this, that wherever the word Ramdas comes, suppose we put our name. Wherever Ram comes, we put the deity's name, or chosen deity, or Guru's name. Then we read. Then we know that it is a dialogue within us. Rise, rise, O despair of hope. Rise, rise, O joyous misery. Joyous misery. Rise, rise, O light of darkness. Oh, rise, rise, lovely dream of an eternal life. Rise, rise, O bliss, O grandeur. What indescribable happiness to cry, to weep, to smile, to laugh, to live, to die. To die for Ram's love, Ram's grace, Ram's life. Om Shri Ram. In mantras, we say, Brahmanandam, Paramasudam, Kevalam, Jnanamurtim, Dandvatitam, Gaganapurusham, Tattvamasthadi Laksham, Ekam, Nityam, Vimalam, Acharam, Sarvadi, Sakshibhudam, Bhavatitam, Triguna Rahitam. Bhavatitam and Triguna Rahitam. You see this? Joyous misery, despair of hope, light of darkness. So that means we'll be able to rise above the concept. This is that. No? Darkness means, negative. Light means positive. That is not there. So previously we were finding it difficult, the moment we are dark. Nowadays we have started slowly realizing, if darkness is not there, light has no validity. Suddenly the light goes off. Immediately the light comes. God is testing us. Yesterday night it so happened. Every time, once in a way it happens. So just, it was a test. Suppose we take it as a test. What happens now? There are certain physical laws, there are certain scientific laws. When that is knowingly or unknowingly violated, the line goes off, natural. Again it is reconnected, light comes out. When we do that, we don't, lighter, we don't say lighter. It is not giving us any shock. We try to accept there are certain laws, When he brought the electricity, there is a law governing it. So anything that goes against, knowingly or unknowingly, ignorance of law makes no excuse, Similarly, ignorance of this law does not insulate us. We will also lose the light. And we will get the light when it is repaired. So similarly, that stage we should reach. So misery is a joy. Hope, despair. Rise, rise. Lovely dream of an eternal life. Rise, rise, O bliss, O grandeur. What indescribable happiness. Just think now. What indescribable happiness. For what? To cry. To weep. To smile. To laugh. To live. To die. For Ram's love. Happiness to cry for Ram's love. Weep for Ram's love. Smile for Ram's love. Laugh for Ram's love. Live for Ram's love. Die for Ram's love. Ram's grace, Ram's light. Om Shri Ram. Peace, peace, peace. Ram, Ram, Ram. when we were reading previously, we just repeat peace, 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 Ram, Ram, Ram. Slowly now he is opening, Ram stands for peace. And peace stands for what? We can't explain. It's a state of experience, undisturbed, tranquil, poised, still, silent. You get some idea about it. Now, you are not weak, Ramdas. You are all powerful. Ram has infused into you his divine effulgence. Suppose with a sagging morale, I don't feel I will not be able to live. Immediately, hey, you are not weak. You are not weak, Ramdas. You are all powerful. Ram has infused into you divine effulgence. You are the infinite seed. He tries to bring the cause and effect theory, and moves us towards the uncaused cause, the first primal cause for everything. By the word seed, Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. I am the eternal cause for everything. You are the infinite seed. Ram has thrown a flood of light into you. Wake up. You are strong. You can conquer everything by the power of Ram's love. Don't grovel. Don't feel weak. From hilltop, from housetop, sound the trumpet of Ram's glory. Ram's love. Be bold. Forward. March. Brave the storm. Destiny is your slave. Keep her underfoot. What fear have you when Ram is your ally? Leave off narrow limitations. Rise and soar and grasp the whole globe in one embrace of love. Your dwelling place is the whole universe, which is your body. You live in it as love. There is not but love, love supreme. Every leaf, every blade of grass, every particle of dust, every tiniest life sings aloud of thy love, O Ram. Every moonbeam, every sun's ray, every twinkle of the stars radiates thy love, O Ram. Every tear, every smile, every ripple, every sweet whisper of joy is pregnant with thy love, O Ram. Wow. So this is complete, the first part of this para is infusing, courage into us, strength into us. Whenever the cycle tire gets punctured, when it is good, when it is pain, what do you call this? When that is plugged, you keep on inflating, air into it. Because it is like this. The more you start inflating, it becomes. There is a particular reading up to which you have to do it. Beyond that, it will burst. So that is what, for a sagging morale. We are all likely to go through such moments in life. With all said and done, with all our knowledge on spirituality, with all our faith in God, still there will be moments of despair, moments of helplessness. I don't think I'll be able to make it up. We may feel that. At that particular moment, this comes to us. That's why we said it's the manual. Every nut and bolt, every spanner will not fit into everything. But a particular spanner, particular nut and bolt, particular this thing, it fits. It is needed for that, preparing that one. So similarly, the text contains so many such tools. So because of the Vyavaharic dealing, because of the old baggage, in spite of my cautioning, my doing everything, one devotee who, after his retirement, he came here religiously from morning till evening. He used to be in the bhajan. Samadhi Mandir for Ramnam, he was monitoring people to come there, no? Such a person, religiously going there and chanting. One day he came to Pujya Swamiji and said, I don't find any sweetness in it. And he was not telling it just like that. The feeling of helplessness was there. He wanted it, he is not getting it. That's what. So there will be such moments in a devotee's life, in a sadhaka's life. So at that time, Papa's inspiring words. You are not weak, Ramdas. So you say you put your name there, just imagine. Huh? Suddenly, you get,
infusing garage.
Huh? Injecting. Immediately, sagging state of affairs suddenly gets enlivened. Gets up. What do you call this? When somebody is weak, when they are immediately given saline water or something like that, Next moment.
Directly in the vein.
Huh?
Directly to the vein, so it goes
directly to the vein so that it goes direct. So we remember many decades back there was an incident in Wayanad in 50s. There was only one doctor for the whole district. Very nice person. He's a retired LMP, There was an LMP course on those days, licentiate in medical practice, diploma. He retired from army. He has got this weakness for alcohol. But anyhow, whether alcohol is there or not, the diagnosis will not go wrong. So one mother, was seriously sick, SJ200 was. Everybody decided that she is no more. So anyway, she is not responding. So he was sent. Unlike today, there is no transport. He has to come, walk so many kilometers. But he will carry a chest. He came there, just looked at her, and he said, I am going to give you an injection directly to the heart, if you all agree. Anyway, you have given up, Then they said, whatever you feel like. I forgot that name. And she took that name.
Adrenaline.
Not adrenaline. Something else.
Usually they give adrenaline.
Then immediately, he gave that.
To the heart.
He was fully.
Adrenaline means the heart pattern.
There's another name. So they immediately, he went there, fell to the correct place, gave. They had arranged for all the obsequies, cremation and everything. After half an hour, the lady was up. And she lived for many years. I guess that medicine's name. On those days it was called. But that sagging, everything is gone. Yeah, you are like this. Suddenly when you hear this, you are not weak. You are not weak, Muktananda, like that, You are all powerful. You immediately have. Ram has infused into you his divine effulgence. You are the infinite seed. Just like when Hanumanji was finding it difficult, when he reached the shores, how to go to Sri Lanka. Then Jambuvan started telling him, so what all he has, he started listing one by one. Slowly the mind got, graduated. He became aware. Then he was able to fly. So similarly the same thing. You are the infinite seed. Ram has thrown a flood of light into you. Wake up. Somebody is there. You are strong. You can conquer everything by the power of Ram's love. Don't grow well. Don't feel weak. From hilltops, from housetops, sound the trumpet of Ram's glory. Ram's love. Be bold. Forward, march. Brave the storm. Destiny is your slave. Keep her underfoot. What fear have you when Ram is your ally? When we read, how much joy we get.
Destiny is your slave.
Huh?
Destiny is your slave.
Very powerful. Leave off narrow limitations. Rise and soar and grasp the whole globe in one embrace of love. Your dwelling place is the whole universe, which is your body. So instead of in this body, I suddenly realize I am residing in the entire universe. I am the universe. Your dwelling place is the whole universe, which is your body. You live in it as love. There is not but love, love supreme. Then suddenly, the stage changes. Every leaf, every blade of grass, every article of dust, every tiniest life sings aloud of thy love. Suddenly, your first address to Ramdas, to me. And now it is shifted. The power that has infused me, what is that power? Every leaf, every blade of grass, every particle of dust, every tiniest life sings aloud of thy love. I don't have to go in for bigger things. A tiny little, non-normally insignificant object, it can connect me to him. That's why he said, every leaf, every blade of grass, every particle of dust, every tiniest life sings aloud of thy love, O Ram. Every moonbeam, every sun's ray, every twinkle of the stars radiates thy love, O Ram. Every tear, every smile, every ripple, every sweet whisper of joy is pregnant with thy love, O Ram. Just imagine you sitting in the cave and these are the types of thoughts that are welling up. And even now, when we read it, there is a life in it, it's not mere jada. It is full of life, every word is full of life, full of power. That means when he started jotting it down, he must be reveling in that, Otherwise it will not have the same life. He is transporting us to that particular plane. That is called life of the word,
Words are so good.
What is not in inquest of God is not worth knowing. We can definitely say. For a spiritual aspirant, whatever is needed, everything has been packed so beautifully. At the same time, nobody will feel boredom, monotony, dryness, seriousness, Down to earth. The behavior is like an ordinary person with all the limitations. Just imagine. Not anything. Even if there is no miracle, though miracle miraculous happenings that happen. He doesn't give that color. Everything down to earth, like an ordinary human being. That is why we said it's a manual. O Ramdas, rise to the very height of renunciation. Oh, scene has changed. And there sit on its crest and view the transient nature of the whole show around you. Everywhere you see birth, growth, death. All are running finally along the same road to destruction. What a terrible state of despair would have faced man in the midst of this vast cremation ground. This vast graveyard where all objects are ultimately reduced to dust and ashes. Had there not been that sweet and eternal influence, that divine ambrosia called love, which is veritable lustrous reality that runs through the vanishing forms that make up this world, varied and grand structure of the universe. Love is happiness, love is God, love is Ram. O Ramdas, rise to the very height of renunciation, and there sit on its crest and view the transient nature of the whole show around you. Suddenly, what comes to our mind is the word in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where he says, Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. Same word. After tomorrow we'll take up that particular chapter, where he says, and Lord Krishna brings it out, Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. Which chapter we can Google? Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. So here he says, rise to the very height of renunciation, and there sit on its crest and view the transient nature of the whole show around you. Everywhere you see birth, growth, death. All are running finally along the same road to destruction. What a terrible state of despair would have faced the man in the midst of this vast cremation ground. This vast graveyard where all objects are ultimately reduced to dust and ashes.
8 chapter 15 shloka.
8
chapter 15 shloka.
15.
It's open now. Shloka.
9, 15th. Maam upetya punarjanma samsiddhi dukhalayam ashashvatam. Napanuvanti mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gati. Having attained me, these Mahatmas or great souls do not again take birth, which is the house of pain and is non-eternal. They have reached the highest perfection. When you attain me, Punarjanma, this rebirth ceases to you. What is this rebirth? Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. Why should we not come back? We don't want to come back. The home of pain and ephemeral. This is the nature of human life. So much sorrow along with some pleasure and some comfort. Because we do not know anything higher, we think this is a first class living. Just like that Varaha.
Avatar.
Because we do not know anything higher. We think this is the first class living. But when we know there is something higher, we understand this is not first class at all. We are satisfied with what we are. We don't want to change. In this human body we get pleasure. In a pig body also there is pleasure. Ask a pig, do you want to change your body? It will say, no, I am fine here. Everybody is caught up in a particular attitude. Not knowing that infinite freedom is awaiting us from the realization of the Atman behind the body. The word Dukhalayam does not mean there is no joy. There is joy, there is pleasure. In fact, there has been a study on the subject in both West. Lokmanya Gangadhar Tilak, in his scholarly 2-volume book, Gita Rahasya, discusses. If you think the world is full of sorrow, you are a pessimist. The opposite is optimist. But if you know the truth of life, there is no question of pessimism or optimism. It is just the truth that this is Dukhalayam and Ashashvatam. So this is what Papa has, this has not also been missed by Papa. O Ramdas, rise to the very height of renunciation. There sit on its crest and view the transient nature of the whole show around you. Transient nature, Ashashvatam. Everywhere you see birth, growth, death. Utpannamayadu nashikyu. Whatever that is born has to die. All are running finally along the same road to destruction. What a terrible state of despair would have faced the man in the midst of this vast cremation ground, this vast graveyard, where all objects are ultimately reduced to dust and ashes. One of the ways to control the me and mine, Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. So what is more important is the transitoriness, the ephemerality, the impermanent nature of anything that is in and around us. Though God has provided everything, He has provided it and made us to become aware of the perishability. That is why every day Mataji wanted us to repeat a universal prayer. Not merely creator, not merely protector, but also destroyer. In every thought, because He is there, He is the creator, protector, destroyer. So through every thought, every action, this is made manifest. It becomes expressive in us, but we are not aware of it. We still cling on to unknowingly to the fleeting joys, fleeting comfort, fleeting security, and become unaware of the Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. So Papa is bringing out bluntly here. So, like that, this is a manual that we have to keep on hammering into our brain. In Quest of God is a manual. Whenever you are in trouble, just go open this. Before that, we should have this manana and try to unearth what are the tools there. Then only you can take the right tool, Merely keeping the toolbox will not help, We know it's a toolbox.
Which tool you want to take?
Which tool we have? First of all, now He made us to know what are the tools inside. At least now He has opened up 16 in the toolbox. One side has been opened. And 16 tools He has made us know. There are many. So we try to make use of. Just like, He gave us the prompting to take it up, do it, and He is guiding us from within and without, and to know that we have reached at this stage now. At least it is not a book. It is not a book written by Papa about his sadhana. It contains full of guidance, full of directions, full of hints and clues for a successful spiritual journey. And during this journey, whenever we need any assistance, whenever we want to get over something, immediately open the box, take out that particular tool, apply it. Suppose you take the tool and keep it in your hand. No. It has to be applied. The right tool has to be applied at the right place. That's all very important. So, from today onwards, we will give a new name to IQG. It's the Manual for our Spiritual Journey. With that power. Yes, one devotee said, it has taken possession of you. Yes, it is right. It should take possession of us. Completely it should hold us. Then we are safe. Because any time we can refer to that. How did he deal? How can I deal now? Previously it was merely reading, memorizing something, We might also memorize something. We might enjoy certain things. But we never knew that it is a manual. It's a ready reckoner. It's a dictionary. It's a guide. So, which is encyclopedia. Yeah. Finally, probably we may also name it as encyclopedia. So, we are all deeply thankful to Papa for having opened up this aspect. Right from a small innocent book, it is pregnant with the same word. All that is to be known. All that is needed. So let us all try to. Now our prayer is, we have taken us to this much. Please help us to speak out that which is needed for my spiritual progress. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 One clue just now he gave me. When we chant Ram Naam, if we are consciously chanting, that is meditation and chanting. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om. Sadgurunath Maharaj ki Jai. Hari Om.